I've been complaining about the wide nine for years. When Robert Saleh installed it, I still wasn't sold, but he's such a good coach. He knows when to use it and when not to use it. D'Amico Ryans too, but then they left, and Steve Wilkes was trying to learn the wide nine and coach it at the same time. Same with Nick Sorensen. They didn't know what the hell they were doing with that particular front and didn't really have things to change to. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to reveal secrets, but you've watched the games. You've watched the preseason games. They've been showing this. They don't only line up in a wide nine anymore. If you're watching, they have lots of times where there's 5 men on the front, like a 3-4. I love it. I think it's really, really smart. I don't know when they're going to use it, but they put it on film, and so the Seahawks have to prepare for it. And they don't know when they're going to use it. They could see it 0 times, or they could see it all freaking game. But if I were the defensive coordinator, I would use this 5-man front a lot this year, particularly against Seattle week 1. I've talked to Robert Saleh about the wide nine before, not in a while, years ago. And the way he seems to think about it, forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, Robert, is that it's very effective against one-back offenses. When the Niners installed this, the team to beat in the NFC was the Rams. Their running back was Todd Gurley. Their quarterback was Jared Goff. And they were always in 11 personnel. They were always in 3 wide receiver formations. They were always in one-back sets with that slot receiver going in jet sweep motion. And the running game was just, the one back, inside zone, outside zone. There wasn't a whole lot of scheme. And I think Saleh felt that there aren't a lot of ways that a one back set can take advantage of a good wide nine. And I think he's essentially right about that. But the league has changed a little bit since 2019. You have fewer one back offenses, fewer pass first offenses. The proliferation of the 2-shell defense has really compelled offenses to use more, to run more, to use more heavy formations, to use more 2-back sets. Even the Rams. So now we got the Seahawks week 1, Clint Kubiak. That's a Niner guy. He was with the Niners 2 years ago. They're going to have a fullback. They're going to do some zone read. I mean, they're going to have 2 backs in the backfield, whether it's a fullback and a running back or a quarterback and a running back. There's going to be 2 guys you got to account for. There's going to be an extra blocker. And those are the fronts that give the wide nine problems. 2 tight ends, a tight end and a fullback. Any way that you can widen that already wide nine, you're in trouble. So there's a lot of teams now that are trying to use heavy formations, condensed formations, and run the ball with a fullback on the field, with 2 tight ends on the field, with a quarterback you have to account for. And those are offenses that are built to annihilate the wide nine. You've been running this for like 6 years. People know the strengths and weaknesses. You're going to see more and more 2 tight end formations, more and more heavy formations, more and more runs. Why did Robert Saleh spend the first 5 picks on run defense? Because he knows what's coming. The first pick he had, Michael Williams, not a true D end. He's a guy who played a lot of 4 technique at Georgia in a 5-man front. D tackle in a 5. He did a lot of that. And instead of drafting a guy and asking him to do a bunch of stuff he's never done and asking him not to do the stuff he's comfortable with, it seems like the Niners are doing the smart thing, which is letting him do a lot of the stuff he did in college. You want a guy to make a big impact year 1? A guy who missed the whole preseason? Let him do exactly what he did in college. So I wrote an article this morning saying, I talked about it after the stream too. What is the worst position group on this team? I was thinking it's the D line. You got this wide nine, and I mean, I don't even know if you can generate any pass rush or any run defense with it. But all of a sudden you bring a 5th guy in there, I feel like you can stop the run. And what's nice about the way that they can run a 5-man front is they have this Sam Okwanu, who is really a good edge setter as a D end. But he can play from a 2-point stance like an outside linebacker and even drop into coverage. When's the last time the Niners had a player like that? Bosa can't do that. Michael can't do that. Bryce Huff can't do that. Maybe Samson Ebukam could have done that 4 or 5 years ago, but Sam Okwanu can. And you're going to see him do that. So what they could do is they could rush 5, drop Sam Okwanu into coverage, and blitz Nick Martin and Upton Stout. And they got 5-man rush with 3 D linemen, 1 linebacker, and 1 nickel. Or you could rush 4, drop Sam Okwanu, and rush Fred Warner. All these different looks. I have no idea all the different things Robert Saleh has planned for this look, but I think it's going to be a big curveball that the Niners are going to throw the league that the league isn't prepared for. It's going to help them a lot. And I think it's so, I'm not even going to say smart, like commonsensical. Run defense has been an issue for a while. The pass rush hasn't been great either. The wide 9 is officially not helping you anymore. So you don't have to scrap it entirely, but maybe try something else sometimes. And again, from preseason, we can see that they are. That instantly makes this team better. Peter does not drink, says shout out to Mama Ayuk. Shout out to Mama Ayuk.